Welcome back to Drafting 102, and we are going to finish this semester out, it looks like, probably online, unless something changes in the near future. But what we're going to end up doing is utilizing AutoCAD to finish this last 8 weeks up. And instead of doing it on the board, we're going to show you the techniques on AutoCAD. I want to show you the techniques that you would actually do on the board, and then I'll show you how AutoCAD simplified it. But it's really good that you know the basics of how things actually get done by hand, and it gives you more of appreciation, and it can help you if you need to ever troubleshoot. So we're going to split up an A-size paper 9 times. We're going to bisect a line, we'll bisect a curve, we're going to have an equilateral triangle, find the center of a circle, we're going to have a square inscribed, a square circumscribed, pentagon, inscribed hexagon, and we're going to divide a line this time around, okay? So I'll show you how to do each one of those manually utilizing AutoCAD. So I want to jump in, I'm going to just minimize that a little bit. And over here, bisect a line. Now, if I come over here to AutoCAD, and I put a line on here, ortho, keep it straight. Now, I wanted to find the midpoint of this, like I hit line, and right now it's catching endpoint. We know we can come down here to these snaps, right? And you go to midpoint, and it automatically catches that endpoint, or midpoint. Well, I want to show you something else really cool about this. Let me go in here and turn that midpoint back off. This is how you would do it with your compass. You would take your compass and stick it in on this point, and you would go past it about 3/4 of a way, past half. You're going to go past halfway, usually about 3/4. And let me show you how I do it. Center radius, I'd come in here, and I want to catch that endpoint. Where I'm sticking my compass in, I want to go about 3/4 away past, okay? And on this one, I really don't know the diameter. Okay, I got it right there. It looks like about let's say 1.2, okay? The radius, boom. Now, whatever I did this circle at, I have to do that circle on this side. So you're going to come over here and do the same thing, catch this point, and you're going to type in 1.2. It has to be identical. And you can measure that if you want to real quick. Radius. 1.2, 1.2. Just like that. And now, if you go line, if you catch that point, the intersection point to this point, that right there is the exact midpoint of that line. So that's how that you'd be able to find and bisect that line, okay? So that's bisecting a line. Now, bisecting a curve is similar. Let me just put like an arc up here. It works identical to it. And I'll just put a little curve in like this. It works the same exact way. You're going to come up here and do center radius. You're going to catch this, bring it out, and it looks like about the same. I'll do 1.2 radius. No, it wasn't near as close, was it? So I'll just come in here and I'll just click it and come out here. It looks like 2.9. 2.9. Come over here and do 2.9. Line, whenever you catch that point to that point, right there is your midpoint where that crosses that arc. That is bisecting a curve. Okay? So we'll keep on going. An equilateral triangle. I'll show you how to do this. And this is the same. If you got a length of a line, let's say it's 2 inches long there, this is how you would do it. You take your compass and you swing that all the way over there to that endpoint. So the radius will be 2. Do the same thing from this side. Do 2. And you'll notice now your point from there to there. You take that ortho off and down to here. There's your equilateral triangle with the lengths all at 2 inches long, okay? All right, that's how you do an equilateral triangle on AutoCAD. Now you want to find the center of a circle. Now, if I were to put a circle on here, I don't know where the center of that is. Now, we know AutoCAD, it's automatically, if I do center, it switches on, hit line. You see how it'll ping up there? Now, on a board, if you don't have a center spot for it already, it's kind of hard. A lot of people, there's different ways of doing it. You could put a box around it and go from side to side. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about there. You could, I mean, this is a way of doing it, and that would be, I'm going to put a quadrant on there just so I could, you come up here and just, perpendicular to that. And you all see where I'm going with this. I mean, that is, and of course you'd have to do it on these sides up here as well to come through and get that center point. That's a lot of work. You could do it like that. There's another way of doing it, and if you ever used geometry some, you got chords. So I'm going to take, and I'm just going to put a line through there, and then a line through there. They're just opposite of each other. And then I want to take and I'll just trim. So I'm making chords on this, and they don't have to be perfect. They just have to be opposite of each other. And what you do is, if you're doing this on paper, and you want to find the center point of this, this is how that they used to do it. Come up here to center radius, stick your compass in right there, go past, you're just bisecting that chord is all you're doing, and we'll say about 2.1. Come up here, 2.1. Okay, so now from there to there, there's the center of that. Y'all can see that. And I'm going to go ahead and just delete those just to clean it up. I want to do the same thing to this one. I'm just going to go a little bit past halfway. Say 2.2. I have to do the same thing on this one, 2.2. From there to there. And all I'm going to do is extend, you know, if you're doing it on paper, you know, you could extend it on out, but I want to extend these on out, just like that. And you see where they cross at? That is your center point. And even if I come up here and hit circle, see how that's dead on the center? That's how you would find the center of a circle if you use a template to draw it on a piece of paper. It's a really cool way that it really works. The next one is a square inscribed, and then you got a square circumscribed. And again, it's kind of like something we've already did on here. I would take and I would get your, whatever inscribed means, it's going to be inside of a radius. So sometimes you see it like that. Let's say you have a radius of 3 inches, okay? And you need to make a square that's inscribed inside of this. How I would have done it on the board, I would just roughly take, and I'm just going to put a line right down here at the bottom like this. And I would, this like would be your blade coming across on your board. And I would put my, and I would actually just line it up, put me a line there. I would get myself a 90 degree, or bring the blade over on your protractor head and put it on there like that. I need to turn on my perpendicular here. Make things a little bit easier. Of course, you don't have that perpendicular option on a board, do you? Pulling all this stuff in, making it look a little better. Now we could draw this a whole lot faster in AutoCAD, right? but I just really want to show you the techniques that AutoCAD does to get you there. And see right there, and all you'd have to do is on this one, you're trying to find the inscribed. Now this right here is basically the circumscribed square. That's how you do it. You just come up here and hit your quadrants and put them in. Now to do the inscribed, you have to go from corner to corner, and then just where that hits right there to there, there's your inscribed. See how it's inside the circle? So this is circumscribed on the outside, inscribed's on the inside. And I'll get rid of that just like that. So that's how you go about that. Now I want to show you in here, what size did I make that? Let's see here. I think I made it 3-inch. I want to put another one over here, and I'll show you how AutoCAD does it if you're not familiar with it. But you got up here, you got rectangle or you got polygon, and I got a 4-side polygon. In the center of it, it'll automatically catch that. And then if I do inscribed, enter, radius is 3. See how quick and easy that was? That's the old method. This is the newer method. We'll go in there and do it again, and this time we're going to do circumscribed, and the radius is 3, and put it out just like that. So it's the same thing, you're just going about it, a little bit different ways. AutoCAD calculates for it, and over here you're doing it manually. All right, we have now, it looks like a pentagon that we're going to draw. So let's draw that up. Now, a pentagon, you can come up here and do a pentagon, and that, and just hit 5 sides. Center, let's say we're going to do an inscribed, and we'll say it's 3 inches. Boom. That quick. This is the old method of doing it. This is how you do it on a board. You take your line, and you're going to make yourself a center point, okay? And then I want to put in here, just like this one here, what do we do that at? 3 inches, radius of 3. Okay. I just want to do a copy and just see how this all turns out. Yep. So on this one, if you were doing this by hand, this is how you would go about it. First, you're going to take and you're going to bisect this little bit of line right here. Let's get in there and do that real quick. So I want to trim that off and trim that off for the time being. I just want to bisect this line, and you guys remember how to do it. You come here, stick your compass in there, come about halfway, say 2, and come over here and 2, and that's where you're going to find your midpoint of that line. Okay? So that's the midpoint of that line. I'll go ahead and I'll delete those things out. You go back in with your compass, stick your compass in right there, and you're going to pull it all the way up until you touch that quadrant point up here. Do y'all see that? You're going to come up there and touch that point right there. Like if you're doing it with your compass, you're just going to bring it up there and stretch it out and touch that point. Now, I want to take this line and I'm going to pull this one all the way back across because I cut that out. Now, I want to take and put my radius right here, and I want to pull this all the way down. I'm stuck in right there with my compass, and I'm going to pull it all the way down to right there, right where that line, this arc and this line pass. Boom, like that. Did y'all see that? So now I want to get rid of this one. I don't need it anymore. And check this out. Hit line. You come up here and click on this. You come down to there. Click on that. You come down to there. And the thing of it is, you've already got that compass set. All right, for that radius. I'm just going to do a move. Hit move. Click on that arc, because that arc is set perfectly. And I go from there, and I set it right there. Line. And that's what you do. You'd actually pick your compass up, pull it from there, and stick it in right there, and then put that line, and where that line crosses that original circle, you're going to take and now put your compass end right there. And we'll do it again. We're going to copy this from that point. We're going to stick it right over here and just connect the dots on it there, and then pull it all the way together. Now that is the old school way of making a pentagon. And if you went there with your little circle, of course it would put it right in there at 3-inch radius. Let's see how close this is between them. Right on the money, isn't it? So that was your old school way of making a pentagon. Now, inscribed hexagon, then we've got to divide a line. The inscribed hexagon would look like this. Hexagon is 6 sides. So let me see if I can remember how to do that. So let's get us a center radius here, and we'll say it's another radius of 3 inches, okay, for instance. Now, 6 sides is what we have here, and for this one, really the quickest way to do this would be, like on your board, would be get your flat ruler, bring it across, on your protractor head, right under that, and then go and get your 30-60 triangle, okay? That would probably be your best. This is going to be inscribed, so it'll be on the inside of this. So you probably, what would be the best, well, we could do it like that and put our 30-60, and I'll show you how that works. There's several different ways of doing this. We just have to set up our object snap here to 30 degrees, or polar tracking, I'm sorry. That's what we need it to be on. Cancel that. We'll set it to 30. Right there. You see there where you're putting your 30? This one would be 30. And then we'd have to do the same thing up here at the top. That 30, and we'll actually snap it right to that. If you'll notice, that is a hexagon. And there is your hexagon. Now there is another way of doing this. That is one way of doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another way of doing that is like this. Whatever this is here, we can grab this and do a copy. And what you're doing is you just need the radius. So set your compass to whatever that radius is and copy. And you can go in here and click at the top and click at the bottom. Whichever way you want to do it, it's just catching your radius. So you'll go from the main top up here down. Let me show you that in a better method. This is the other method. Radius. So it's 3-inch radius. So again, I'd come up here right to the main top, do a 3-inch radius. All right, so we know right now from the main top here to there, to there, and then you can honestly just come over here and catch this point, do 3-inch radius. Y'all see that? Catch there to there. I'll delete those just to get rid of this extra stuff here. Circle again, catch this point, 3-inch radius, line from there to there. Catch that point, 3, from there to there, and then the last point from there, and we know it's going to be up to there, but it should hit dead on. It does. Good deal. All right, so that would be 2 ways that you can use descriptive geometry to make those inscribed hexagons. The last one is going to be divide a line, and let me show you how that one works. Now, it's very easy in AutoCAD. Check this out. I can put a line. It doesn't matter what size it is. I can divide it how many times I want. First thing you got to make sure that you do is format up here, and if you don't have this up here, you have to hit this little thing, and so like if yours might look like that, click on that little button there and go Show Menu Bar and do a Format and go to Point Style, and I'll show you something. Pick yourself a point style, do Absolute to Screen, and do like a 0.125 on that. Hit OK. And then if you come down here to Draw, you can go into Divide. And let's say I want to divide this thing up 4 times. I just divide it 4 times. Well, I'm going to try it again here. Divide, click on that, 4 times, enter. And you can barely see it, my little points, but I can make those larger by going to Point Style and changing it to like 0.375 or something like that. See that? So let's divide it 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 sections divided equally, okay? I'm going to show you another little trick to this, okay? And I want to hide those points because I want to come back later and show you. If you were doing this on the board, this is how that you'd actually do it. So on Format, Point Style, I must turn it on to where it's nothing there. They're not gone. I just hit them. But this is how you would do it back in the on the old boards, and it's a really good method to know. But I could hit Line, and like I'm putting a ruler down right now, okay? And I want to put my ruler here, and I'm going to measure, and it doesn't matter what angle you put it on. I'm coming up through here, okay? And I want to put 4, let's see here, I'll put it like this, something like that, and I want to put 4 inches, okay? So what you want to do is, I just got to have this thing equally 4 times, equally busted up 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And when I do that, you're going to see what I'm talking about. I want to hit, and probably what I need to do is get on that line like that and go up 1, enter. Hang on just a second, let's get this thing. I want to get this thing rolling. And I'll put like 1, enter. That's not that far, is it? So I need to stretch that thing up some more. Line. So there's 11. So let's do 10. Let's say 10. That looks good. Get lined up with it. It's going to be hard to get lined up. I need to get an angle on there. I'll follow that angle. Do 10. There's 1 segment. 10. Now, if you had a ruler on there, it's easy to do. 10. 10. I'm just wanting to have it 4 spots in there. And then, this is the most important. If you're on the board, you have to hit line. You click on that point to that point, and you draw that in. This is your most important line here, and the reason I say that is because you're going to set your compass to that, your protractor head to this, and then you're going to move it and catch those points, those endpoints of those lines or those points. So I just do a copy, click on it, click there, click there, click click there, and click there. And you'll notice where those cross at is exactly, you busted that line up right here equally 4 times. Does that make sense? So it doesn't matter up here if you got it set 10, 10, 10, or 20, 20, 20, or however, as long as those are equally spaced, and then when you connect these, that these lines here are parallel, it will split this line up perfectly every time. And this is a way that they used to draw stairs and things that were equally spaced. It's pretty cool. So now I'm just going to throw that back on there and point style, and just to show you that technique really works, doesn't it? And I think that's in your textbook as well. So I want you guys to get, that's how you draw all these, and then I want you guys just to basically take and do a square. We'll do a rectangle, and I want to make it 11 inches in X and 9 inches in Y. And we're going to take and we're going to bust this thing up 9 times, okay? And it doesn't matter if you, because you're going to have 3 boxes here and then 4 across. So it doesn't matter. And I want to explode this because it's all one piece right now. It's a polyline. Y'all see how I exploded that? Now it's individual pieces. So if y'all want to, you can use the points and click on this, divide it up 3 times. You can use that. This one, and bust it up 4 times. I actually need to do it 3. Let me undo that. My bad. Click on that 3 times. And then you're just going to, and these are called nodes. You see how it's not snapping to it? So you want to come in here, click on node, shoot them across. Spacebar repeats commands, makes things a little bit faster. And what I want you to do is I want you to draw each one of those things that you did inside those boxes, okay? Now I made these pretty large, but when you come in here to do this one, it'd be like the first one here. Bisect this line. So you just have to just downsize it from what I had. 1.5, 1.5, and just go ahead and put your line in there like that. And what I'll have you to do is just try to keep everything in the box, just to keep it clean. But it'll be a good thing to remind you how that you went about doing that, okay? So I want you to put all of these things we did inside these 9 boxes here. If you have any questions about anything, please contact me anytime. Thank you.